Have you watched, that's what we were on, My Big Fat Fabulous Life?
Is My Big Fat Fabulous, is that where somebody's like overweight? Ugh, no, that sounds like a movie.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
Fat Greek wedding or something.
No.
Okay, today with me we have Michelle McDaniel. She has a popular YouTube channel. It's called My Thoughts Will Probably Offend You, and sometimes they definitely will offend you. Now, how did you come up with that title? And then when you did go out to set up the YouTube channel, did you think, I'm going to do this channel and my goal is just to piss people off? Like, that's what I want to do. Or did it just kind of like fall into place? Like, tell me, how did that come to fruition, I think is the word.
It definitely wasn't starting out like I'm going to offend everybody. You know, it's not, it's probably how people think that's how it started. But I started on Facebook and I wanted to just get healthier and lose weight because I was uncomfortable. Then I just started to get into bodybuilding or figure competitions. And so I started posting that I was getting up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym because I worked full-time at LA Fitness, and then I went to school full-time, and the only time I could fit it in was in the morning. And I made that first post saying, hey guys, if you really want it, you would wake up and, you know, do it. If you want to find time to work out, you would find the time. And some lady got heated. She was just mad that I said, if you really wanted to find the time, you would find the time. And she was pissed. And I noticed the more that I would post about health or fitness or just really anything, people got offended. So that's really what the base of my channel is on. Whenever you share your opinion online, someone's going to be mad and take it personally. So I just know if I say something, someone's going to be mad. So if you tune in, I'm already warning you, you're going to be offended by something. Usually people aren't, but there's always that special person that the shoe fits and then they take it offensively.
It's funny. I did the same thing. I started out on Facebook making comments talking about like you shouldn't cheat on your diets and all this stuff. And people are so mad going back and forth. And then I eventually transitioned into YouTube. And I actually first discovered you from my brother, Steve. We call him Editor Steve. And he sent me your videos and he's like, Greg, this is the female version of you. I think you'd really like her because she like talks like off the top of her head, her opinion. She has strong opinions on things. So tell me about that. Like, tell me a bit more about your strong opinions on one side or the other. Like, are you scared to give those opinions? Is it comforting for you? Like, are you worried? What do you feel like when you're doing a video? Because a lot of those videos are quite controversial and you know it's going to piss some people off.
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I know whenever you share your opinion, someone's going to be upset. But with the controversial topics, I am a very bubbly, happy, goofy type person. So I try to take the controversial, you know, very sensitive topics, but like throw in some cartoons and jokes. And I am a theater type nerd, so I try to put in the costumes and soften, you know, what I'm saying to make it a little bit more comfortable, but also keep it my own opinion and not try to cater to every single person while staying true to like what I think.
And as far as these costumes, because I've seen them, and I mean, you dressed up as, what's that, Princess Jasmine?
Yeah,
except it looked like you were gonna kill people in her dreams or something, and I didn't even know what's going on. I'm like, what is she dressing up? And I noticed you dress up a lot in these videos. Does that help a lot? And what caused you to get those ideas, and like how much work goes into that?
Well, my YouTube, I noticed, like, you know, not the algorithm, or like just that chart where you look at your stats, right? When I started cosplaying, it like skyrocketed straight up, and I was like, ooh, I think people seem to like when I dress up. I like when I dress up because I get to be somebody else other than myself. But there is a lot of work that goes into it. So I go through like my phases where I want to dress up every single video, then I get burnt out and I take a break for a while because it can take up to a week to get everything together, especially because I usually like the costume to match up somehow and relate to the topic. So like with yours, I was Princess Jasmine because you remind me of the parrot, and I love your voice, and it just reminds me of my childhood. So I was like, I got to be dead Princess Jasmine because I like a little bit of gore in there.
Yeah, and it's a great idea. And as you see people are coming more to your channel with the costumes, it's just going to motivate you that much more. And I'm sure you've seen some of my videos. You see me screaming and shouting, and I know it's the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute, when I talk louder or more amped up, I get more views. So why am I not going to do that? So I'm sure when you did videos with the costumes or controversial videos and you see more people tuning in, it's just that much more motivating to do the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I notice people, because I read comments all the time. So I'll read your comments and people will get upset when you do a natty or not video. So it's very similar to mine when I talk about fat people or fat positivity, really. And they get, it's probably people from the group saying, like, why do you keep talking about fat people? Just like they say, why do you keep doing natty or not videos? But if you look at the numbers, your numbers probably people like natty or not, and my numbers people really like for me to talk about fat positivity. So why would I stop talking about something that, one, brings me views, two, I do enjoy, three, it's easy, and it's a weird topic. So if it brings you views and you're not really hurting anyone, you bring scientific facts to the table, should be okay.
It kind of leads me to this question. It's like, I really love the titles of your videos. Like, they're just crazy. I'm just going to read some, and you can just see how they're going to be offensive. You chose to be fat, deal with it. Body positivity is fake. Battle of the fat chicks. Some fat chicks mad at me. Fat whale opens a nail salon. So you can just see, like, as soon as you see that title, like, I personally love it, but anyone else sees that title, they're probably going to think, oh, I don't like this. I'm going to be triggered by that. But then they come and watch your channel, and then they're probably going to comment. It's going to lead to some kind of discussion, which helps your channel. So what do you think about that?
So that's another way of why I titled my channel the way that I did, and why I titled my videos the way that I did, because a lot of people say they, don't judge a book by its cover. Like this whole group say, don't judge a book by its cover, but then they see my title and then they completely judge me, judge my video, which are usually 30 minutes long. They can't take at least 5 minutes to watch a little bit. And then they just completely judge it and don't notice that I'm usually very fair to both sides. I like to see both sides. I was obese. I come from an obese family. I still struggle with binge eating disorder. So I know the game, but I just love that this group says that they don't judge people, but then they're judging me and my title and don't even give me like a little bit of a chance. So it's really about looking at the title, being offended, but then you open it and you're like, oh, wow, this wasn't that bad. Maybe we shouldn't judge people or judge, titles the way that we see them.
Absolutely. And you bring up that you used to be overweight, but now, I mean, clearly you look like you work out, you look super fit. So what has led to you going from being obese to being like in somebody that I would consider in really good shape now? What was the transition? How heavy were you? How much weight did you lose? And what was the secret? Some of the best things that you can give, some tips that helped you.
Well, I rarely weighed myself, and I knew that I was getting bigger. I just wasn't as big as my family, because my family's just complete circular people, especially the women were very large. So I wasn't as big as them. So it was pretty confusing to me to, when your family who's so big tells you, oh, no, you're fine. You're like smaller than everybody else. So I just continued to eat. But then going back to school and looking at everyone else, I looked very different. So it was very odd because I did start sorry, I know you're a man, but I started my period very early. So you just start developing everywhere. So I was just naturally bigger than everyone else. Everyone else was just stick thin. I had hips and everything. I didn't understand it. And then I started eating more. The more that I just got stressed, I started putting on more weight. Still not as big as my family, but definitely bigger, to the point where my knees hurt. And then my family members got so obese that they were getting their limbs cut off, which was a big eye opener. And I remember my uncle saying that he would feel like tingles in his fingers and toes. And when I was around 16, I started feeling tingles in my joints, or not my joints, but my fingers and my toes. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I just slowly started counting my calories for the most part. I didn't change what I was eating. I just started counting my calories. And then someone mistook me for Gina Alietti. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
It's a figure girl. And I looked her up and I was like, I don't look anything like this chick. This chick's ripped. She looks amazing. Like, I don't know how they could even think that I was even close to her. And I just got really inspired and started doing a lot of research on bodybuilding and whatnot, and just reducing my sugar. And it just took me here. It was mostly counting calories and then slowly changing over my food.
Speaking of calories, how much can you eat, or how much do you eat? Are you like the 1,500, 2,000? Do you have any idea roughly at this point? What's your maintenance?
I still count my calories because I notice if I don't, then I just want to eat everything, and I will. So it ranges because I do have endometriosis. So sometimes I'm just like on the couch dead. And so on those days, I'm around 1,200. But I can go up to, like on my training days, if I train around 2 hours plus like my cardio and the dog walking out, go up to 2,000.
Okay, so somewhere between 12 to 2,000, probably on average, would you say 1,600? Would that
I
be
would
a
say
fair amount?
16 to 1800.
16. And how much cardio you do on a weekly basis?
Well, cardio, I do like strictly like 30 minutes, like my own cardio. And
Like
then I
running or like moderate pace? Are we just like walking? At what level? What level of intensity?
So I love the Jacob's ladder. Do you know what the
Yeah,
Jacob's ladder is?
absolutely.
I love the Jacob's ladder. I love the arc trainer. I love walking uphill. I don't run ever, just because I think when I was bigger, I would run and my knees still like I can feel that. And then I do like a little bit, actually you inspired me to do spin bike a little bit, but I do notice if I spin too much, my glutes get like soft. So I can't do a lot.
You have to ride uphill to engage your glutes, or get up on, go outside and start sprinting uphill. When I ride inside on a stationary, I don't feel the glutes, but if I go outside, like I went outside last few days riding uphill, so much more glutes. It's unbelievable. It's like a booty workout. It's unbelievable.
But that's the problem, is that I'm not very nature-esque.
You're more of an indoor rider, just on the stationary.
I like being inside. Yeah, I know. I want to. I live in California. I should be outside more, but yeah.
I'm telling you, if you do it inside, just do some intervals, like basically like hit cardio. Not that I preach it for everyone, but for you, just some get up off the bike, crank it up a gear or two, and really pedal uphill, and you will feel your glutes. Trust me.
All right,
it's going to work.
I'll let you know.
Awesome. Different subject, but which YouTuber do you watch the most and why? Or is there a group of YouTubers? Because I think you said you don't watch a lot of fitness channels per se. You're more into like the drama, perhaps because it helps your channel. That's what you need to look into. So what are you really into on your own YouTube? Like, what do you spend the most time watching?
So most of my stuff, I like history a lot. I love learning about history. I love like dinosaurs. I like a lot of like historical type things is what I watch. But then I also watch reviews of reality shows. So I love just like the messy reality shows, like someone reviewing a throwback like Rock of Love or Flavor of Love. That's pretty much a lot of dog videos.
Speaking of reality videos, do you watch all those, like, I don't know, they're the rich people of New York or something, or like they're on a Love Island? Like my girlfriend, it's like half the day spent watching these I'm like, why are we watching this? It's always in the background. It's what she likes.
Yeah, but it's very popular. I don't watch them all the time, but I'll watch them for my channel so that I can review it. I know the Love Island and what you're talking about. People review them. They're very popular on YouTube. I just have to get into it. So it's just hard for me to get into some of those because I know what's going to happen. It's like the same thing over and over again. Yesterday, breaks up, someone cheats.
Yesterday, it was like people were all losing money because they were kissing people, these couples. And it was like, I think all of them were like making out the whole time. And I'm like, what are we watching right now? I don't know. That's what she likes to watch. I have no interest in that, but it's on in the background. I do love 90 Day Fiance. I haven't been watching it lately, but I did love it. I don't mind that one because she had it on all the time and I kind of got used to it. I did watch quite a bit of that. I remember I just loved Big Ed. I mean, how do you not like Big Ed? He was just so hilarious. I couldn't believe what he was saying, but that was it. I admit I did like that show like a fair bit. So it's not all bad.
I like that one a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of reality shows. I haven't been watching lately just because I've been so busy, but there's a lot of, I like reviewing reality shows and watching reality shows. Have you watched, that's what we were on, My Big Fat Fabulous Life? My Big Fat Fabulous,
is that where somebody's like overweight? No, that sounds like a movie.
Yeah,
Big Fat Greek Wedding or something.
No, it just follows a obese dance. She got her start on Facebook.
Wait a minute. Yeah, she's like about 100+ pounds overweight, and she's got friends. They kind of get together and they do stuff. I have watched that a few times, but I don't know it enough to comment on it.
Oh yeah, but I think it's a good one. I mean, it fits both of our channels pretty well. But the last episodes that I was seeing, she was thinking about weight loss surgery, and someone said that she should get it, but then she said she wants to talk to a health at every size doctor, whatever that means. So it was just very interesting. It
means a doctor that doesn't know what they're talking about, because you can't be healthy at every size. You can be less unhealthy if you're doing cardio and stuff if you're 300 pounds, but clearly if you're 300 pounds and lose 100, you're going to be healthier than if you kept that weight. I mean, there's no way beating around the bush and saying, like, if you're morbidly obese, the definition of morbid is to die. It can't be good for you. I mean, by by definition, it can't be healthy, but people are going to argue that it is.
They do. And then it's just so funny. I'm making a video right now on Eugenia Cooney, you know, the very slim anorexic woman.
It's not ringing any bells, but trust me, for me, I'm lucky I even said your name properly, which maybe I didn't. I usually say everyone's name's wrong. So to say a name and me not remember it, it's not shocking at all.
I'm horrible with names too, but like Eugenia Cooney, she's like, a lot of people from the body positive community wants her off the internet because she's anorexic and she's promoting, you know, an unhealthy lifestyle. But at the same time, they say someone like Tess Holliday is able to be on a platform and have magazines. So I just thought it was a very interesting contrast that Eugenia Cooney can't have a platform, but Tess Holliday, who also promotes a very unhealthy lifestyle, can have a platform.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like you have to let everyone. You can't let one who's obese promote themselves and somebody else who's not promote themselves. It's the same thing. Like, how can we decide what's right or not right for someone to be able to express themselves? We can just say that they're idiots if they follow them. That's all. But they should be allowed to do it. We can clearly say, hey, don't follow that, but they should be allowed to do it.